Hi, I'm Leezá Steindorf. I'm an international leadership coach, a member of the Forbes Coaches Council, and I've helped thousands of leaders and learners around the globe find power within themselves that they didn't even know they had. And today I want to talk about something that can hit really hard, and it often hits in silence. That's the moment you're passed over. Maybe you've experienced that. Maybe it's a promotion, a leadership role, a project that you were hoping to lead yourself. And suddenly you find yourself watching someone else get that approval, right? They now have the position you were hoping for. And maybe you feel confused or even embarrassed because other people knew you were vying for that position. And if you want to be honest, you may feel hurt. Like that's totally natural. I've been there. I think any professional has been, right? But here's what I want you to know. This moment does not just define your worth, right? What it does is it gives you an opportunity, and I know that sounds just like a platitude, but it's not. It gives you an opportunity to define your next move and where you're going from here, how you're going to deal with this. And in this video, I'm going to help you turn that sting of being passed over into a strategy that's going to move you in the direction you want to go and allow you to walk away stronger and clearer and actually more grounded than you were before. All right. So, but let's be real. When you're passed over, you're just overwhelmed, right? The self-talk gets really loud and really fast. I'm not good enough. They're idiots. Did I do something wrong? Why them and not me? I deserve it. They don't, right? We have this whole cacophony of conversations in our heads. And we immediately start looking for flaws within ourselves, or maybe even within others, the person who got the job, right? But here's the truth. When you get passed over, it doesn't always mean that you're not ready. It literally could mean that the system wasn't ready for you, or that there was something else that you're being slotted for, or the opportunities weren't aligned, or somehow communication was missing. There's so many different possibilities of why you didn't get that particular position. So you can utilize the moment not as rejection, which it can feel that way, and allow yourself to feel that. I mean, go through all that. But when you're ready to come back to a place of power within yourself, then start here and make a decision to redirect. And you can know how to navigate by using the right tools. And you're not going to lose then momentum or not even enthusiasm. You can actually build it. And that's what I want to offer you today. So maybe you've already heard of the C.O.R.E framework that I use when I'm coaching leaders and high performance teams and rising leaders. It's C.O.R.E stands for clarity, ownership, resolution, and excellence. And these four principles help you move through disappointment, and not by just brushing it aside, but by kind of digging in, understanding it, learning from the inside out, and then using that disappointment literally as a launch pad. Okay? All right, so we're going to break it down now. And I'm going to start with clarity, the first one, and it's getting clear on what the facts are. What's the lay of the land? What really happened? So our first response is often emotional, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Frustration, anger, sadness, disappointment, as we said, judgment. This isn't fair. They don't deserve it, whatever that is. You can allow yourself to go there but don't stay there. Okay? Or even before you spiral or even mid-spiral, you can pause. And I've spoken about pop, right? Pause, observe, proceed. So just pop for a minute, and then you can ask yourself to get clear, what exactly happened? So was the opportunity clearly promised? Like, did they make that offer or was I just hoping for it? Or were there expectations that were discussed in specificity, or did I assume them? Or did I get feedback beforehand that I didn't listen to? Like whatever it is, or maybe you did get the offer and they didn't choose you. Whatever the facts are, whatever the concrete circumstances are, get really clear on those, okay? Because those are your guideposts. And that kind of clarity brings you back to solid ground where you're not spiraling in the emotions. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with emotions. I just want to say that again. They're part of the beautiful thing of what makes us human. But when we get lost there, we can't navigate as well. Okay? So When you get that kind of clarity, it lets you differentiate between what's a mischance or what was miscommunication, or if there's a lack of alignment between goals, whatever the reasons were that you didn't get that position will start to become clear. Okay? And when you feel ready, when you've processed, you can ask the person who made the decision, right? Can you share what factored into the decision? And you may be surprised by what they say. Or is there something that I can do or an area I can grow into for future consideration, if that's something you want? So seeking that kind of clarity from a place of strength, it's not weakness, it's actually self-respect, and it'll also show the decision maker that you actually respect the process. Okay? All right, so now we're going to talk about ownership, right? C-O-R-E, so O is for ownership. And I speak about that in taking ownership 100% for your part in any situation. It doesn't mean that you blame yourself. It doesn't mean that you are responsible for other people's actions. And especially being passed over can feel disempowering, like you're just kind of lost and things happen to you. But you still have your power. It's not gone. And you can design your perspective and also create your response the way you want it to be. That's not easy, but with practice, you will be amazed at how you can start to very quickly take circumstances and turn them around and respond from a framework that you yourself create. So, ownership doesn't mean blaming yourself. It means really staying grounded in who you are. And then you can say to yourself, or maybe you want to say it to the decision maker, I'm disappointed, but I respect the decision, right? Or I'd like to understand how can I better align next time, right? So you're acknowledging what's happened. You're not sulking, but you're asking to learn. And that shifts all the energy away from just a reaction to reflecting and then also responding in a mature and in a leader's way, right? That's the beginning of leadership. That's how you see it in motion. Okay. So now we're going to talk about resolution. And the way that I speak about resolution is when things are out of alignment, when something's missing, it's bringing them together. It's bringing cohesion and resonance into your world, into your work, into how you operate. Okay? So this is really pivotal. This part of resolution here is because do you retreat? Like, do you say, all right, I'm out, or you're just not going to say anything at all? Or do you use this opportunity, as I said earlier, and refine, like find out what it is that's happened here and how do I want to create meaning from it that serves me? Okay? So you can ask, for example, what skill set were they valuing in the choice that they made? And maybe there's something in that skill set that maybe you learned in your conversation or you heard from the person who was hired or from somebody else or taken for that position. Wow, that's something that I could really strengthen, or I didn't know that that was important to them, right? So you can ask what skill set was valued. You also may find out if there was something you missed in your communication, like maybe they didn't know you wanted that position. Maybe you haven't been clear enough, for example. Or maybe you deserve and want mentorship or a different position somewhere within your own ranks. Yeah? So you have the chance to figure out in resolution to align what you feel may be out of alignment. And then you take action on it. You can follow up and ask the decision maker for a follow-up conversation, right? If you want to continue down that road, you can ask for a mentor, somebody who can help you if there's a specific talent or skill set that you want to grow. You can create your own growth plan, or you can ask your supervisor to help you create a development plan. You can also communicate and express that you're still interested in, when they have another opening or when they feel you're ready, right? So you communicate that you're engaged. And what that really does is not only for the people that are making the decisions, but for yourself, it it pivots that disappointment into really self-growth, and it gives you the opportunity to develop from that situation that was, let's face it, is not easy. It just isn't, right? But you still have the power to turn it into something that serves you. Okay, so now we're going to talk about excellence. And the way that I define excellence is knowing and coming from the highest and best place in yourself and reaching out to others from that place. Your thoughts, your actions, your decisions are coming really from the highest potential that you can bring. And the highest standard you can hold after you've been passed over is not being perfect. It's your presence. It's how are you going to show up, right? And you can show up just as powerfully, if not more so. And I'm not talking about faking it, okay? Because I said earlier, if they're emotions, be with them, process them, be real. But when you are ready and you can come to that place within yourself where you feel that strength and you know your worth, then you come forward with that and you continue to do excellent work. You support the person who got the opportunity, if that's appropriate or if it's even within your framework of work. And you let other people around you see that your motivation and your collaboration are not conditional upon getting what you wanted or what was promised to you. So excellence is not only about performance at all, it's actually about consistency in that higher standard again and again. So when you embody grace and grit in moments like that, you actually earn trust, not only from the people around you, but also in yourself, because you can rely on yourself though in those circumstances. And most importantly, you remind yourself that your worth is not conditional. It's not on the line. It's not even in question if you didn't get a position. But your growth is what is actually here and present and being asked for. All right, so that's excellence. So we have clarity, ownership, resolution, excellence. And what I'd like to do is offer you a practice that you can try out, and I think it'd be really useful to you. If you can think of either a recent or far past, whatever, a situation where you were passed over, where you didn't get the position that you were hoping for. And separate your piece of paper into two columns, and on the left-hand side, write down that story, just the way that you remember it, what happened there. Okay, that's on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, I'd like you to write down, what do I know now that I didn't know then, even if it just happened recently? What they're looking for, what skills you need to improve on, your communication wasn't clear, their communication wasn't clear, whatever it is. So, on one side, you write down the story as it unfolded and how you felt about it. You don't edit it. And on the other side, you write down, what do I know now? And give yourself time to really emerge that. Let that come to the forefront. And even if you have only one insight, it's a gain. And after you do that, then write down one action that you can take in your current role to show leadership, to come from that place of excellence and leadership within yourself and let other people benefit from that, right? Because that forward momentum, that growth as a professional is not about winning or getting what you want. Often, unfortunately, it comes when we don't get what we want or when things are challenging, right? And then it's about how do we respond after we don't get that thing, okay? And that's why I call it an opportunity. All right, so I invite you, if you found this video to be helpful, if it helped you find some strength or some ease in a situation that felt kind of powerless to you, then go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like more information like this, and share it with someone in your office, someone maybe who's also navigating career disappointments, yeah? And if you'd like more tools on how you can lead from this center and from your center and using the C.O.R.E framework, then check out resources below and get in touch with me, because you are not defined by what you didn't get, right? You define yourself by how you choose to grow from it. And you can use this chance to really let yourself rise to the moment. Thank you. Be well.